Hello, my name is Mr. Football, aka Soccer, back with another banger where we discuss all things football, soccer for my American and Australian listeners. Welcome to my podcast. We will have future episodes covering UEFA Champions League knockout stage, World Cup qualifiers, African Cup of Nations predictions, who's going to win the English Premier League, potentially also coverage of several teams and their players at the current African Cup of Nations coming up in Ivory Coast. We also analyze Nigeria's matches at the African Nations Cup, amongst other sizzling, mouth-watering, and exciting content. As mentioned, Ivory Coast is going to be hosting for the second time. Matches are going to be across 6 stadiums across 5 different cities from January the 13th to February 11th, 2024. The capital, Abidjan, has 2 venues, the Felix Houphouët-Boigny Stadium and the Alassane Ouattara Stadium, which will also host the final. Other venues include Yamoussoukro, Bouaké, Korogo, and San Pedro, which will also host matches. Apologize if I butchered any of the names. So let's get right into it. Group A comprises of Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Equatorial Guinea, and Guinea-Bissau. Group B is made up of Egypt, Ghana, Mozambique, and Cape Verde. Group C, Cameroon, Senegal, Guinea, and Gambia. Group D is made up of Algeria, Angola, Burkina Faso, and Mauritania. Group E has Tunisia, Mali, South Africa, and Namibia. Group F, last but not the least, is made up of Morocco, Zambia, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Zambia. So the format for this is it's made up of 6 groups. Top 2 from the 6 groups qualify, so it's 24 teams in total. He leaves you with 4 more slots for the third best teams to give you a round of 16 teams competing for the Nations Cup. The opening match takes place on Saturday, January the 13th at 8 p.m. GMT, which is 2 p.m. Central Time for my American viewers. And it is a match between Ivory Coast, the host nation, and Guinea-Bissau. The next day sees Nigeria tackle Equatorial Guinea on Sunday, January the 14th at 2 p.m. GMT or 8 a.m. Central Time for my American viewers. And Egypt in the second match takes on Mozambique at 3 p.m. GMT or 9 a.m. Central Time. Now, in terms of favorites to win, several countries spring to mind. Perennial favorites, Ivory Coast as the host nation, of course, Nigeria, Senegal, who won the last edition, Egypt, who have won it 7 times, Morocco, who are World Cup semifinalists, and Cameroon. We're always going to have some dark horses and spoilers. Could come from several North African countries, Algeria and Tunisia being 2 of those. They're always well drilled, the North Africans, and asked Tunisia. Nigeria lost to them 1-0 at the previous Nations Cup, so still bearing the brunt of that. And in today's podcast, we're going to feature Team Nigeria, which is part of our build-up to the Nations Cup. We're going to look at the setbacks, predictions, and analysis. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. The Nigerian squad is made up of 3 goalkeepers, 9 defenders, 5 midfielders, and 8 strikers or forwards. No outfield player, is important to note, comes from the local league in Nigeria. 2 of the goalkeepers are from Africa and 1 from the Nigerian league. The squad has also been affected by injuries. Taiwo Awoniyi of Nottingham Forest in the English Premier League isn't going to be at the Nations Cup. Neither is Wilfred Ndidi of Leicester City and his teammate Kelechi Iheanacho, who is struggling for fitness. So he's touch and go. Now, some would argue, is he worth risking if he's not 100%? Another player definitely not featuring is Victor Boniface of Bayern Leverkusen in the German Bundesliga. Terence Murphy is going to replace him pending CAF approval and released by his professional club Nice in the French Ligue 1. It's also important to note that Murphy is left-footed, which brings a different dynamic to the Nigerian attack. The only other left-footed players of note are Chukwueze and Iheanacho if fit. Now, in terms of Al-Hassan Yusuf, he's a defensive midfielder from Antwerp in Belgium, and he replaces Wilfred Ndidi. They had a training camp in Dubai recently where they played a local friendly against a third division team who they spanked comprehensively. I mean, they beat them like they stole something. 12-0, y'all. Now, they lost their last friendly 0-2 to Guinea in their warm-up game. So let's look at the full Nigerian squad. Let's go. So it's made up of 3 goalkeepers. Stanley Nwabili, who plays for Chippa United in South Africa, Francis Uzoho, Omonia in Cyprus, and Leke Ojo, who plays for Enyimba in Nigeria. Defenders are comprised of William Troost Ekong, POK Greece, Bright Osayi Samuel, Fenerbahce Turkey, Ola Aina, Nottingham Forest England, Zaidu Sanusi, Porto Portugal, Bruno Onyemachi, Boavista Portugal, Semi Ajayi, West Brom Albion England in the Championship, Calvin Bassey, EPL with Fulham in England, Chidozie Awaziam, Boavista Portugal, and Kenneth Omero, who plays for Kazim Pasa in Turkey. Midfield is comprised of the following players: Raphael Onyedika, Club Brugge, Belgium; Joe Aribo, Southampton, England; Frank Onyeka, Brentford in England in the EPL; Alex Iwobi, Alex Iwobi, who plays for Fulham, England; and Al Hassan Yusuf, Royal Antwerp, Belgium. Forwards or strikers are comprised of Kelechi Iheanacho, a.k.a. Senior Man, Leicester City, England; Samuel Chukwueze, AC Milan, Italy; Moses Simon, Nantes in France; Ademola Lookman, very fast, is a good player, Atlanta in Syria, Italy; Victor Osimhen, plays for Napoli in Italy, our main striker; Terem Moffi, Nice, France, subject to CAF approval; Ahmed Musa, Sivasspor, Turkey; and last but not the least, Umar Sadiq, who plays for Real Sociedad in La Liga in Spain. So let's move on to questions. Now, there have been a lot of concern about the balance of the team. Another area would be, should the team not have had more friendlies prior to the African Nations Cup? Should Nathan Teller not have been included in the squad? He's a versatile player from the German Bundesliga, and he's linked up with the national team in the past, so I think he would have been a good addition to compete with Chukwueze at the right wing spot. Other pressing questions include, why did Nigeria not use its full allowance of 27 players instead of only taking 25 players? Hopefully that decision doesn't come back to hurt them. Whose decision was it to take only 25 players? Also, what formation is going to be played at the Nations Cup? Is it going to be a 3-4-3, 4-4-2, 4-4-1-1, 4-3-3, 4-2-4, 4-5-1, or a variation of 4-3-3 on attack and switching to a 4-5-1 when defending? Should Ahmed Musa have been included in the squad? Will Troost Ekong and Sadiq Umar justify their inclusions? Which of these 6 groups would you consider your group of death? Will Francis Uzoho be in goal for Nigeria? Will Coach Bezerro be able to alter tactics during matches? Will the players play to instructions? I can't emphasize that enough. Will the coach also be in charge of the Super Eagles after the Nations Cup? Should the Super Eagles have arrived earlier in Ivory Coast? 2 countries already arrived for the Nations Cup. Will Victor Osimhen, current African Player of the Year, win the Golden Boot for highest goal scorer? He also won it at the Under-17 World Cup level. Let's see if he can repeat that feat. I personally believe the coach should have taken more midfielders. My personal choice would have been a full complement of 27 players. 3 goalkeepers, 8 defenders, 10 midfielders, and 6 strikers. What do y'all think? Will the Super Eagles win their 4th African Cup of Nations? Will the team be able to adapt and cope with any further injuries? What is your preferred starting lineup? Mine is a 4-4-2 diamond lineup. And here we go with my formation. Goalkeeper, Leke Ojo. Right back, Ola Aina. Left back, Zaidu Sanusi. Center backs, Calvin Bassey and Semi Ajayi. Central defensive midfielder to protect coverage for the backfield, Al Hassan Yusuf. Right wing, Ademola Lookman. Moses Simon on the left wing. Alex Iwobi operating in the number 10 role, central attacking midfield. Terry Murphy, supporting striker. And our main guy, Victor Osimhen, main striker, number 9, leading the line. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, and subscribe on all social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Mr. Football, aka Soccer, signing off. Make it a good day.